Hi everybody, it's Jill Blanchett again with the Sweet Springtime Paper Pumpkin Kit alternates. This will be my third one if you're following along with all of them. I made this card for the third card, and this will look different now because I didn't want to waste all my envelopes. This card only makes 3 of each item, and I didn't want to use up too many things for my samples, so I found some paper that I had that looked like it would work for the sample I was trying to build. So what we're going to use for this one, you will use half of one of the slimline cards. So cut it down the center, and then you'll still be able to trim this down a smidge and layer it on white or another color and still be able to use the envelope. So this is what, then you cut that edge off and then cut it in half. And we are also going to use one of the pink envelopes, and that's what I substituted here. So you'll want to cut just a hair off from all 3 sides, and then I cut the piece down to 4 inches, and I tried to use this here on another card, so don't throw that away. We may be using that as well. So we've got this piece from our card, this piece, or from our envelope, this piece from our card, and you'll need an 8.5 by 5.5 inch crumb cake. Then we have 2 pieces of crumb cake that are, let me get them, oh, sorry, whoa. 2 pieces that are 1.5 by 1 3/4, and then we will cut this down to be 1 3/8 by 1 5/8, and then you'll have a third piece of crumb cake that is 1 5/8 by 1 7/8, and then you'll have a white for that one at 1.5 by 1 3/4. And then you will need some ribbon of some sort. Whatever you have laying around works. This one may actually be a little wide, but it was some satin, white satin ribbon that I had. It's a little bit chunky, but if you have something a little smaller, that would work too. So I'm going to cut this piece up with a die. Any large die that you have that will cut that out, or just leave it square. If you don't have any dies or don't want to mess with it, you can trim that down to fit your front to 5 1/4 by 4. But for now, it's larger so that I can go and cut it out and have excess. So I'll be right back. I used this larger scallop die. The Radiating Stitches die might even look nice on there. It's more of a solid square with just a little hash marks. That would probably be really cute too. But I'm going to go ahead and fold my paper in half. So either score it at 4 1/4 and fold it up, or just fold it in half and burnish on your fold real good. Now we're going to go ahead and glue this on. And I'm not going to glue the scallops so much. I will put a couple dots here and there just to help it stick down. But I'm not going to go crazy to get them all to stick down. That would just be crazy. And then we want to kind of center that best we can. You know, I'm not seeing anything. Everything's crooked today, probably because I'm standing at an angle still. I'm cranking these videos out one after another today, and hold on, I'm pulling it down here so I can see it. see if I could do it any better. Might be that I cut out the envelope, cut out crooked, so that might be. I guess when you lay your die on there, make sure that it goes straight, because I think that's what's mostly playing with my eyes. So now we're going to work with our little crumb cake pieces. And when we cut this in half, it made it about 1 5/8. So we're going to go this way with it to fit on our square. And so we want to then make it 1 3/8 inches wide. So let me get my, hopefully I can figure this out on this trimmer. That's 1 1/4. So we want to go right here. 1 3/8, I do believe. Let's see, it looks like it might be a little small. Yep. Let me get my other trimmer just so I don't waste all my paper. I would hate to cut into the other side of the 1 and 1, 2. There, 3/8. Huh. We need 2 of those. And we're going to go ahead and glue them onto our square. I am leaving only like 1/8 of an inch on the sides. There we go. And then I'm going to glue them onto the front. Kind of trying to put them on there evenly. And you know, I'm eyeballing it like I do everything. So I'm about, you know, little piece of pink, little piece of pink, bam. I got 2 squares. I got 2 squares, so we're good. So I'm going to glue those down now. If you like to be more precise, by all means, don't let me stop you. Sometimes if I'm going to get too precise, my videos are going to be too long. I want to get as many little flowers shown as I can on that. Now I do want to be sort of precise though. If I knew how to use a ruler correctly. Something I never learned. All right, now we're going to take our little tiny white that I told you was 1 5/8 by 1 3/4. Is it 1 3/4 by 1 1/2? Sorry. And I'm going to put the duck down. So let me find my, here's my black, here's my duck, chick. I guess he's not a duck, he's a chick. And then I'm going to stick him down here at the bottom. And then I've got a mask. Let me find it. Can't find my mask, so when all else fails, we'll just make a new one. I got a Post-it note. I stamped the little chick down on it, on the sticky part, so that the sticky parts, the image is on the sticky part. Oops, no, I just threw it in the garbage. And then you want to cut it out a little bit smaller than what you need, so that when you stamp over the top of it, I don't think I'm going to need to worry about his legs. I don't think I'm going to get that far down in there. So when you stamp over, the ink will not get right up to the edge. So if you cut it a little bit smaller, which I'm going to go ahead and cut this, if you cut a little bit smaller, then you will not get like a white shadow line when you stamp, or you shouldn't. So I'm going to put him down there, like I said, just a smidge smaller. And then we're going to come in with the flower. And we're going to stamp right over the top of that. Move that out of my way. And then when you peel the mask off, your little chick is now in front of your flower. All right? So now I'm going to go ahead and color him in, and I'll be right back. So I'm just going to color the chick. I started with my flower. Now I'm just going to color the chick in with my daffodil. And I'm going to try and make my, I'm going to get my dark out first. I'm going to try and make my actual daffodils, I'm going to try and make them pink. I looked online yesterday and I did see that some daffodils can be pink. So I'm going to try and see if I can get him to color in with some Berry Burst. This marker, I'm going to have to let it dry a little bit. See if I can get that darker one to blend out. My dark is very dark and my light is almost nothing. So I'm going to start on my flowers, and I'm just going to try and do like the lines, because they showed that they were still like a white, but they had some pink and a darker color in there. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm just going to put a little bit of the dark down there. So now I'm just going to get my petal pink out, see if I can do a little bit of, oh, this is dark. Let's try the light, and I just want to try and blend that around a little bit. See if I can bleed that in and out, and oh, not so much bleeding good for me, but it is a very dark color that I'm trying to spread around, but we're going to call that good. That was my thought process here, trying to go something with the pink, but they are not working so hot. So we're going to glue this onto our base. And I can always go back and fix it later. And then we're going to pop that up with some dimensionals. These little ones, I cut my fingernails completely down a couple days ago and can't even pick these silly dimensionals up. All right, so I'm going to put that up a little bit like that. And yes, this piece definitely comes off, and I will redo those flowers because look, my black is just bleeding everywhere. And we don't want that. That's not good. Then I got this, again, thick ribbon. That was the last of the spool right here, so I was using it up. But I would definitely look for something maybe less chunky. Let's see if I can pull it tighter. Don't want the ribbon parts that large. So we're going to go right here, because as soon as I try and pull it tight, then it gets all wonky and makes the bows too big, and then I'm right back to the square one of pulling on it to make them smaller, and then it loosens it all up. And that works. Let's see if I can turn that a little bit to get that tail down on the bottom and the bow over on the top. There's a whole art to bow making. Oh, let me get my ribbon scissors, because I did find when I was making my sample that I was having a struggle getting them cut. All right. Now I'm just going to put some, I use dimensionals on the back a lot of times, and I just put it right down around the knot. Because it's kind of already sunk in a little bit. So the dimensional's not going to elevate it on my card. That one's not coming up. It's not going to elevate it, but it's going to hold it there. So I'm going to put that there. And there's the outside. And then I have a basic white for the inside. And I just used a little chick on the inside. Just the outline of him. And then I said, welcome baby on this one in Granny Apple Green. So there's our third card. And I'll be back with my fourth and final card. Okay, so I saw that this piece was not cooperating with me on how I wanted the flower to fit on there, and I realized I had cut the wrong size. So this piece I will have made a notation in the directions or the measurements at the beginning, but this is a 2" by 1 7/8" square, and then the white layer is 1 7/8 by 1 3/4. And let's stay right here for a moment. I redid it then, and I did my flowers. I did them with the light daffodil, and then I went with the dark petal pink just to give it a little bit different look, because you guys know that dark one that I used earlier, if I haven't cut it out of here, just did not cut it. So I redid this again and made it bigger to fit to match this one. I couldn't fit the flower on the other one, so I knew something wasn't right. So I made that one bigger, and then this is how it will end up. And I love the petal pink pulling in this pink over here. So that is our third and final card, or it's not the final card, third card for right now. I will be back again with the fourth card, and don't forget, which I didn't tell you yet, to take your light gray or your like Copic 0 and ground your little guy there. Put some lines under his feet so that, I don't know if you can see that on there. very, very faint, but that just gives a little ground to it and sticks him down so that he's not floating in the air. I'll be back with my fourth and final card. Thanks for watching.